Good afternoon, everyone. Nikhil here once again from Kenstone Capital. So, here again, we keep bringing you, awareness around the CIBIL, especially, or the credit bureaus that operates here in India. Once again, we are reviewing a report of an individual that had couple of issues because of which his financial prospect was stuck. So I have Harish here, who is my partner and who literally manages the entire CIBIL. Today we both are going to discuss how we helped him in terms of identifying first how we helped him identify all those issues, fix all those issues, and made once again eligible for a financial prospect or a financial loan.
Hi Nikhil, glad
Hi.
to meet you again.
How are you, Harish?
Doing well.
Fantastic. We're gonna review, I think, as you yourself gave this report,
Correct.
a report of an XYZ. We are going to keep the entire personal details confidential. We are not going to reveal, any of the personal details. Except the personal details, we're gonna talk about the entire, nitty-gritties of the report. What had happened? What were those issues specifically, and what we did to fix those issues. So this literally becomes a sort of a case study for you yourself to, recognize these kind of issues in your report. If there are any, just make sure that you remove all those issues so that you can access financial assistance anytime from the banks.
Yes. And also I think we are going to break that myth which a lot of people have, saying that any error or any mistake on
Right.
the report cannot be reversed at all, which
Absolutely.
is not the case. So
Absolutely.
clearly we are going to show or compare two reports of the same individual
Correct.
taken at different period, where clearly we on the first report we showcase all the problems affecting his CIBIL,
Right.
and on the second report where the approach that we've taken and rectified all those issues so that now he's again eligible for credit.
Fantastic.
So that would give more clarity to a lot of people, and clearly people would be able to understand that there are a lot of things that can be fixed and resolved on CIBIL.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that's how it should be.
Correct,
It should
correct.
never ever, finish somebody from his, or bind somebody from accessing financial
Exactly,
assistance.
exactly.
Because accessing, I think in one of the recent High Court ruling, what they clearly said is access to financial assistance or loan, basically access to loan is a fundamental right
Correct.
of a citizen.
Correct.
It is a fundamental right because without access to financial assistance or a loan, it's impossible for somebody to grow up or progress in his life, no?
Correct.
So
Correct.
we need
Exactly.
access to do business, for getting through our education, anything. I mean, any events, any major events, if we have to get through, we definitely need access to loans, I think.
And also people go through rough phases.
Right.
Everyone goes through that, and that
Right.
should not be one of the reason for you to not getting back to that stability once you're doing well financially, right? So it's very
Absolutely.
important. So even the financial institutions, even the credit institutions do support that. So even they understand that yes, there are rough phases, but once you're financially stable, you approach the banks, get all your negative accounts resolved, and the same way the report also gets updated. So that once
Fantastic.
that is done, you're again back to the credit line.
Fantastic. It's a proper bounce back
Exactly.
strategy. So
Yes.
and banks want somebody to bounce back, because if
Again,
when
they have
nobody
to lend.
bounces back, where is the consumer? Who will
Exactly.
take the loan?
Exactly. So this is one typical scenario where
Okay.
the individual had gone through some crisis during the
Okay.
COVID period and a bit earlier than that.
Okay.
And now he's pretty stable. But due to those errors at that time, his credit report is affected.
Okay.
So now he reached out to us and we helped them resolve all those negative accounts. And once it was done, we ensure that the same data that is with the bank is also reflecting on his credit report, and also his score
Fantastic.
gets increased.
Fantastic.
So this would, I think, clear lot of myths what people have, where you cannot make a course correction or there's things cannot be changed on CIBIL. It's not like that. A lot of things can be done, and it has to be done in a proper way. So it's
Understood.
So it's not as if some individual can sit on the credit bureau and make those corrections. That is not something that's going to happen.
Right.
You have to work with the respective financial institution make the course correction, close all those loans which you haven't closed them properly in the past,
Okay.
get a proper NOC from them, use that document and get the CIBIL updated. That is the approach that you
That
should
one
have.
needs to take.
Exactly.
Understood. So without paying without fulfilling the obligation with financial institution, is it possible to
Absolutely
update?
no. Absolutely,
Absolutely
no.
not.
So if anyone promises you that, then I think you are getting into a trap. I would rather suggest to be careful, because that's not a possibility at all. So
That's not a possibility at all,
because any correction. So as I think we had discussed this in our previous interviews also, where credit bureaus are purely reporting agency. So
Right.
they only publish the data sent to them by the bank. So
Understood.
all the data that you see on the report is actually managed by the bank. So only the bank can make any changes,
Amendments.
anything that is required, which with respect to those loan accounts. So the bureaus cannot do that.
Understood.
So if anyone says that I'll get you corrected without making any payment to the banks and all, I think they are making wrong promises, which is not a possibility.
It's a clear-cut fraud.
Exactly.
Understood. I think because a lot of consumers in the past who reached out to us were making this statement that without paying bank, we can update. I mean, somebody said that they can clear their entire reports, clear all sorts of negative flags from the report and such things.
No, that's
Which
not
is
a
a
possibility.
clear.
Exactly. It's not a possibility.
It's not a possibility at all, right? No.
Yes.
So shall we go through the report?
Yes,
Harish?
yes, absolutely. So to begin with, I think this individual reached us in the month of November. So we reviewed his report. So I think we have both the reports. We have the report,
Fantastic.
his report of November, and we got all the issues resolved in December.
Okay.
So in a month's time. So we have both the reports so that we can compare exactly how a particular. So in this case, we had 3 loan accounts which were negative,
were in negative.
affecting negatively, and all those 3 accounts were, I would say, in a write-off kind of a scenario, where literally the bank had written off that amount and also reported that to CIBIL. That actually had an impact on his scoring also. So if you see, his scoring is somewhere around 600, which is not a great number to have to begin with.
Understood.
So what we actually helped them do is we helped them close these loan accounts, then get the NOCs and then report it to the bureau, and also that actually helped him in increasing the score also.
Fantastic. So let's dive in individually. We have 2 reports. Both belong to the same individual. One is, we can call it as before after. Before he had issues in 3 accounts. After he coming to us, we identified all those issues. We helped him resolve all those issues and got it updated in his report. That's the next report that we have. So we have both the reports on the screen. So we will first go through all the challenges that he had in all those 3 loan accounts, and then identify. I mean, individually we will go through all those 3 loan accounts and identify what were those issues, and then we talk about all those issues, what we did to resolve all those issues, and then we will take you through the second report. This is the second report where the issues are cleared. We will also show you how the issues are cleared. What are the aspects that get updated once those issues got
Absolutely.
cleared.
Absolutely.
We can also show them.
Absolutely.
Because as you said, the DPDs can't be updated.
Correct.
There are a couple of components or parameters that get updated, and there are a couple of parameters which remain as it is.
Correct.
But it doesn't affect anymore.
Correct.
Is the thing, no?
Absolutely.
Done. So let's go through the first report. First report, we have masked all his personal information because of confidentiality. So you don't see anything that's his personal information.
So normally, just to add, on a actual report, you would find his PAN number, his email IDs,
Correct.
your phone numbers,
Correct.
and all the addresses that belong. But here we have actually masked it out
Masked everything
for the video.
so due to confidential reasons. So first negative account belonged to this EARC.
Correct.
EARC.
Yes.
The product is credit card. It has an account number. Another thing that you have highlighted is the current balance, which says 31,497. amount overdue, which is 1,14,021, and it has never been closed. We see blank.
Correct. It's an active loan.
Active loan, and the other thing that we see is DBT, which is
Doubtful.
Doubtful.
Yeah, it's categorized as doubtful because this has crossed more than 18 months of due. So I'll just explain. So we also need to understand, a lot of people would be surprised. They would be thinking, I've never taken a loan from a bank called EARC. What is this?
correct.
Why is it suddenly showing up on my
What is
report?
EARC? basically?
EARC. So in this scenario, what's happened is you have companies that are called ARCs. ARCs are like asset reconstruction companies,
Okay.
which actually buy bad loans from other banks. So banks actually sell the loan books also. So let's say, for example, I as a banker, I don't want to spend. I've already marked a particular loan account as a write-off, provisioned it from my profit.
Correct.
But I don't want to invest further in terms of everything is a cost, right? So if I have to collect the money, I have to invest on that, on the resource
Invest
and
onto the collection team.
Yes, and if I'm not willing to invest anymore, I think that I'm not going to recover any money out of this. So what they do is they also sell all these loans. So normally all these big banks do that. They sell it to companies which are called ARCs, which buy all these bad loans.
What is an ARC?
ERC is called Asset Reconstruction Company.
Understood.
So-
Asset reconstruction company.
Yeah, so they normally buy all these bad loans from other banks, and they continue following up, maintaining that loan book and everything. So literally, it's like they are the owner of that loan account. now.
Loan account, because they have purchased it from the bank.
Exactly. So you would be able to clearly also identify on your CIBIL report itself. So one bank would have actually marked the bank which has sold the loan account. It would be marked as account sold.
Do we see?
Yes,
do we see that in this
yeah,
report?
we see this on this report where if you go further down, this card is from State Bank of India, SBI cards. So SBI cards has sold this particular loan account to EARC.
Understood.
So EARC is Encore ARC who have purchased this loan account from State Bank of India.
Got it. Let's
So
see
you
where
would
the
you
SBI
would
is.
find further down, you'll find it. It would be
SBI card, is
SBI
it?
cards, correct. So this is the account. If you see further down, it would be mentioned as account sold. Yes, you could see the credit facility
Literally
status.
account sold. Yeah.
Yes, so it's mentioned as account sold.
Account
Basically, it means that SBI cards has sold this particular loan account to EARC.
EARC.
So now SBI is no more the owner of this loan account. EARC is the owner of this loan account, and they will do all the follow-up that is required. And even if, as a borrower, if I want to close this particular loan
I have to
account,
go to
I have to
EARC.
contact EARC, not SBI.
Not
SBI would
SBI.
not be able to help me out.
Oh.
Got it. So they've already sold, and they've recovered some kind of money out of this loan account.
If I do not understand this thing, then
Exactly.
I'll keep reaching out to SBI.
And what people also get confused is suddenly seeing a particular bank in the report, which they have no clue. They think that it's some incorrect reporting, which is not the case. This is not incorrect reporting. This is correct reporting. It's just that
Go back to
we need to understand that this particular loan account has been sold from one bank to the other.
But nobody has a clue, no, that the banks can sell
Exactly.
the loan accounts to
Yes.
some other company.
Yes. So
some other company can also report it to CIBIL.
exactly.
So this
So
nobody
this
has a clue.
happens. This does happen. So bank, because at the end of the day, for any write-off account, the bank have to do the provisioning from their profit.
Correct.
So and they don't want to keep provisioning their profits for the collection efforts and keep going on increasing that loan size.
They don't want to basically further invest onto that particular loan account.
So at some point of time, they decide, okay, they bundle all these bad loans and they sell it to other companies, which can, again, they buy it at a low cost. They buy all this entire loan size, like a 100 crore loan book. They would probably buy it at 60 crore or 50 crore. So you have a lot of companies like
Maybe
EARC.
less than that.
Yeah, so you have a lot of companies like this. You have Phoenix ERC, which is a part of Kotak Group. You have Reliance ARC, who also buy bad loans from other banks. So you have a lot of these ARCs which actually buy all these bad loans. So next time when you see any of these name reflecting on your report, it does not mean that you've taken a loan from them. It actually means that some other banker has sold their loan book to these ARCs.
These ARCs.
And you need to still work with these ARCs and get them closed.
Get them closed.
Exactly.
Got it. Audience. So SBI has sold the account to EARC. EARC is basically Encore Asset Reconstruction Company. So please make a note that banks can also sell their portfolios to an external agency, and they will in turn, put an effort to collect this money.
Correct.
And for that sake, they'll report it to CIBIL.
Correct.
Right? No.
Exactly.
Super. So in this case, what has happened? It has gone into write-off.
Exactly.
Because it has not been paid for a long time.
Yes. So in this scenario, what we actually did is we reached out to EARC,
Okay.
and we got the details on what the amount that had to be repaid.
Understood.
And because it's an ARC, also there is a scope of negotiation at some stage. So
Oh,
we were able to negotiate on customer's behalf, get a good deal for him. And once the lender and borrower agreed on an amount that they are willing to pay and close, the EARC shared us the details on how we can make this payment. And once the borrower made that payment, they helped us with the NOC. And we used that NOC document, that is the no objection certificate,
Got it.
which clearly mentions the account is closed and there is no more amount that is due. We used that document and we reached out to CIBIL in getting it updated. So if you see the same loan account on the other report, which is in the month of December.
Yeah, this is in the month of December, guys. You can see.
Correct. So here also now the loan account is showing up in the open category. But if you see that in yes, now if you go further down, you will see the same account reflecting under the closed accounts. So further down.
No?
Yes.
Yeah.
See. So now you can see that the amount overdue is blank. And
here the amount overdue is 1,14,000.
And the balance is also nullified. There's a closure date.
Balance is also nullified.
Yes.
Correct.
So there's a closure date that is updated.
Here the closure date is not at all there.
Correct. So you see a closure date here.
30/11/2023 is what the closure date is.
Yes. Fantastic. And if you go further down, you would find a new entry for the month of November. So clearly you could see till September they had reported as doubtful. The same was the scenario in October, but in November, as we managed to reach them out and close the account,
even the DPD got updated as 0.
Correct. So now you can see a new entry for the month of November, where you see the delayed payment data as 0. That means that there is no due and the account is fully repaid and closed.
Fantastic. So it's this particular loan account is
no more negative now. This loan is no more negative.
Clearly closed because amount overdue is 0. Date of closure is reported, and the DPD, where previously it was doubtful, now it's 0. 0 means it's closed.
Exactly.
Understood. Guys, you can clearly see the differentiation between these two accounts. One is this account was purchased by EARC from SBI, which we clearly showed you in the video, wherein SBI's loan account is reflecting as account sold. Okay. Second, you see the differences between these two reports, wherein here there is an amount overdue of 1,14,000. Here the amount overdue is blank. Here the date of closure is not updated. Here the date of closure is clearly updated as 30/11/2023. Third, here it's doubtful. Here it's 0. That means the account is closed.
Perfect. Right, so this is a clear indicator now. It was a negative account in the month of November. We followed the right process where we reached out to the respective lender, got the details of the payment, made the payment, got the NOC and got the CIBIL updated. So this is the exact process what you need to follow to work on any negative account.
Understood. And when we reach out to all these ARCs, there is a particular way to reach out to them.
Exactly. So that depends on lender to lender. They have an internal escalation matrix which you need to follow. Different channels that you need to work with them and identify. So that takes some time. So you would need some expertise or some research on that. But definitely most of the data is available online.
Yes. Right. So guys, if you fix your own CIBIL, I mean, you can always do it. It's not that it's a rocket science. We always say that we are giving you a service of convenience.
Correct.
It's no rocket science. It's very clear. Anybody can do it. It's just that it's a matter of convenience and time. So if you're coming to us, you're just saving time and it's convenient for you. You can invest the same time into your day-to-day work and such things without breaking your head on what what are the next steps that I need to take to, fix the errors in my civil report. So that is the only reason for which you should be reaching out to us.
Correct.
Nothing else. So you yourself also can fix all these issues. Just that you need to identify what are the issues.
Correct.
Because the account sold itself, you can imagine the trouble or the trauma. So Harish, next, as you are marked, next
Correct.
thing that I see is Innofin. I think
Correct.
they are one of the NBFCs.
Correct. So primarily, I think it was a app-based loan which the borrower had taken
Okay.
and missed out on the repayment. So
Okay.
you could
And
see
it's
this
not a big loan. It's some
a very
10,000
small
rupees.
amount. Very
Overdue
small
is
amount.
just 2,000
Correct. Correct.
233 rupees.
Correct. And what one thing that you need to understand is from a scoring perspective on CIBIL, it does not matter whether you have a 1 rupee overdue or a 1 lakh overdue. Overdue is always a overdue, and it has the same amount of effect on your scoring, on the actual score. So it's very important to understand that and have that discipline not to have those overdues at the first place.
Understood.
And also not to take things lightly. If you think that it's a very small amount overdue, what is the big difference it's going to have on my report? A lot of people think that a 500 rupees or a 100 rupee overdue is not going to make a huge difference, but actually it does.
Correct.
It does, and your score is going to come down drastically even if you have a 100 rupee overdue on any of the account, especially the unsecured ones.
Understood.
So it's important to keep a tab on this, and wherever
Pay on time.
And these are all very easy to fix. And if you find that there is some overdue reported, either you can dispute it with those respective lender if you think it's not right, but get a closure on that issue. Just don't leave it as it is. Get a closure, whatever may be the outcome, whether the bank agrees to waive it off or clear it off, or you end up paying that amount, but some action needs to be taken.
Correct.
You should not be just leaving it as it is. That is
As
what
it is.
I would suggest.
Because I think even in our previous videos, we have clearly discussed that the score is all about an individual's behavior.
Correct.
Right? No.
Correct.
It's a behavior.
Correct.
So the credit report gives an individual's credit behavior.
Correct.
That means if an individual is given a loan, what is his mindset? His mindset is to pay on time or not to pay at all. So I think, as you said, whether it's a rupee or some or a crore, it doesn't matter. Or an overdue is an overdue, because it's largely describes an individual's mindset.
Correct.
So the scoring pattern gives the pattern of an individual's mind. So in terms of his repayment behavior.
So even in this scenario, he's actually a salaried employee, and it was pure ignorance where he literally forgot that he had taken a small loan on the mobile app and he missed out on the repayment. And this has been affecting. If you go further down on the same loan, you can see month on month they have been reporting a 900 days delay, which is a technical write-off. It's a technical write-off.
Technically, it's a written off account.
Exactly. So this has had a significant effect on his score. So you can, these are all things that you can avoid.
And obviously it would have blocked him from taking a loan, no?
Correct. And from a banker's perspective, when I see some report where I see that you're not able to repay a 1,000 rupee loan or a 2,000 rupee loan, it's actually tells me about your discipline, right? You're not serious about your finances.
Correct.
Maybe you might be earning a lot, but you're not serious in looking into your finances and repaying that small thing that is required.
Whatever
It could
that
be
has
an
been
error.
borrowed.
It could be an error. So it's very important that you keep your eyes open on all these things. Keep a regular look into your CIBIL report, your loan accounts, and make sure all those things are reported accurately. Even during the crisis period, it's important that you keep a look into all these things.
Okay. And make sure that at least once you get out of your crisis, you update it.
Correct.
So let's go through.
So
what
we can
have done.
compare the same loan in the December report,
Yeah.
where, as you could see in the November report, they've reported a overdue of 2,000 rupees.
Did I go past by one more? Here, what I see is high credit has been 10,000. Current balance is amount overdue.
You could
Amount
see
overdue
it's
is 0.
blank. Yeah, it's now
blank.
it's been made
No
blank.
more. It's no more overdue.
Correct.
And
there's a closure date that is updated. This was a technical error.
date closed, and here there's a closure date that has been updated.
Correct. So this was a technical error where the person had already closed this particular loan account long back.
Long bank here.
Yeah, he had closed this in 2021. The bank had not reported things correctly to the bureau.
The Innofin, the
app-based
NBFC
loan.
guys.
So that was the reason it was still left at the same state where it was previously. So we reached out to the lender. We told them that you've been not reporting correctly to the bureau, and we provided them with the NOC that they had shared previously. So this happens a lot. A lot of institutions, they internally close the loan also, but they fail
never
to
report it to credit
yeah,
bureaus.
they fail to report it to the credit bureau, and the account just remains open
Oh my God,
forever.
imagine the trouble now.
So you might be under the impression that okay, I've got the NOC, everything is done. But one step further, you also need to make sure you check your report, and the same NOC what you have is actually reflecting on your report. You need to make sure that action is also done by the banker. So
Understood. Which is, you just have to check your amount overdue,
yes,
and you need to see whether the date closure is updated or
correct.
Okay. And the DPD has been updated to 0. That
Correct.
means now
So
it's no
we
more
reached out
overdue.
to them
The
and-
account closed.
Yeah, we reached out to them, and we got the date closure updated, and everything was sorted on this account. So even this
Fantastic.
was fixed by December.
Fixed by December. And there's one more loan account. No?
Correct.
That we have.
So we have one more loan account. It's from again a small NBFC. It's called Early Salary. Yes.
Understood.
So here also you could see that the
Some
amount.
161 rupees. Just
Yeah.
161.
Yeah, some random amount as a
Current
balance, and they had reported this account as write-off. So you could see that it's. So what happens is when write-off and all these flags on your status
Correct.
is a huge negative account.
Absolutely.
Negative has a huge.
Write-off is clearly depicts that it's a default account. No?
Correct.
The borrower hasn't paid.
Correct. So even during your crisis period, it's not very difficult to pay some 100, 200 rupees and
Correct.
have these things sorted, right? The smaller things you can always get them fixed even during the crisis period.
Yes.
So that was not the case here. So
Here it was overdue, or was it a technical issue?
no, it was a overdue. So
It was a overdue, is it?
so
Just
we had to
161
reach out
rupees.
to the and it's difficult. These early salaries do not have any branches and all. It's more like an app-based
it's
loan.
a fintech.
Yeah, it's a fintech, and they have a customer support, and it's extremely difficult to get in touch with them. So because of our expertise, we did manage to reach out to them through other channels, and we managed to get the details on what is the amount that needs to be paid and how it has to be paid. And once we made that payment, clearly we were helped with the NOC, and once that was done, we got the write-off account removed. So as you can see on the other report, clearly
So here they have pushed DPDs also.
Correct.
900, 800.
correct,
Which is 800 days of non-payment, 900 days of non-payment.
correct. And if you see the same account now in the December report,
Early salary,
the amount
overdue is
overdue
zero.
is 0, and you'll find a
Date of
closure
closure
date.
is updated.
Correct. And the write-off flag is removed. So these were three.
And November DPD is also updated to 0.
Correct. So now this is a closed account. So previously it was still in open status. Now it's actually reporting as closed. Now all these three accounts which were negative in November, we followed the right process, and we got those accounts closed and got the report updated. This in turn had a positive impact on his scoring also. So if you could see the overall score, in November his score was around 620. And in December, once we fixed his report, it increased to around 670.
73.
670.
With further activity, he can.
Yes.
The score can increment
Yes.
to maybe
Correct.
750.
Correct.
It can go up
So
to
that is what
750.
we recommended. We suggested him, saying to maintain a good credit history for 6 more months. Once that happens, pretty much I think the rest of it is a pass for him.
Correct.
He will be eligible for any kind of credit in the future.
Based on his profile.
Exactly.
Right, no?
Correct.
So viewers, I think in this report itself, we managed to review 3 accounts which had different kinds of issues. Lastly, it was written off,
Correct.
and we also explained you as to how we managed to close each one of those accounts. First, create awareness to the borrower or our customer, and we helped him close all these loan accounts and got it updated in the CIBIL, or you can say credit bureaus. Now he's free to fly, and he should be cautious as well. I think we
Correct.
also give at the end of the once we close each one of this, once we close the service, we also give them a sort of a heads up as to what are the do's and what are the don'ts, so that he keeps his loan accounts intact in terms of CIBIL and walks free. He can
Correct.
always access his.
True.
He's always financially free.
Absolutely.
Anytime he can access
Correct.
loans from any of the banks
Correct.
based on his profile, because
Correct.
CIBIL is one of the aspects. When you apply for loan, your profile matters, your income, XYZ, a lot of other things, factors come into picture. So if you're eligible from all those factors, so CIBIL would never ever be a block from accessing a loan.
Correct.
Right, no?
Perfect. Yes.
Fantastic. If you have anything to add further, Harish?
No, I think we've discussed everything in detail. So I think this would be a good case to understand what are the things that you should not do,
Correct.
and clearly manage your
Especially those small accounts, no, wherein the OD was
Exactly,
just 161 rupees and account got into written off, because of which his housing loan can get blocked. Even if he has a salary of 1.5-2 lakh rupees, applying for housing loan, even though he is eligible from his income perspective, the CIBIL is blocking him. Or
Correct.
credit bureaus are blocking him from getting a loan.
and it takes time to fix. So
Correct.
that is what we need to understand. So first is that yes, it can be fixed, which
Correct.
we clearly have seen in these two reports where the negative accounts have been completely updated as positive. Again, once that is fixed, we need to build a pattern now. Again, we need to build a credit history for some time. Once that is done, I think you are back on track.
Back on track.
You are again eligible for credit.
Understood.
Okay.
Fantastic. So viewers, please like, subscribe and drop a comment if you have any doubts. We are here to help you out. So we will give you, or if you have any further questions, please drop those questions. We will address all those questions in our next video. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nikhil.
Thank you.
Thank you.